remember when I was in kindergarten in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, I was going to a school that had a tall white pole, and on top of that pole were horns, air horns. And every once in a while, maybe once a week or once a month, I don't know, they would go off. It would be like a fire alarm or a the Russians are attacking kind of alarm. It was so loud. And 5 year old little me would be down here like this with my hands and crying. It was scary and I didn't know what to do. And then it stopped and life moved on because it was only a drill. Nothing else happened. And I was told to calm down and go on with life. As those drills continued to happen, I got a little bit more used to it. And then I changed schools and I didn't have to worry about that particular sound. Life is full of fire drills. Sometimes those fire drills mean there's really fire because it's not a drill, it's a fire alarm. And sometimes what you think is a fire alarm really is a fire drill. Last week, I got a call from my rental company saying that our landlord had decided to sell our home, which sent me into a ton of activity. My wife and I were both trying to figure it out. Okay, so we don't know when. We know we'll get 30 days notice at some point. What are we going to do? When are we going to do it? How are we going to keep our kids in the same school, or are we? How are we going to stay close to people's work, or are we? How much rent can we afford, or can we? Could we possibly buy a house, or is that not going to work? It's been kind of crazy. We were looking for houses. We were looking at application fees, trying to figure it all out. And this morning, I was filling out an application fee for a house that looked like it might be a good deal. And about 5 minutes before I would have hit the button to pay for the application fee, I got a call from my rental company saying our owner has changed his mind and he's not going to sell the place because, after all, we have been here 11 years and we're never late on rent. We're great tenants, and he's got enough properties that he doesn't really need to sell this one. He's going to sell a different one. So the rental company, on my behalf, talked him into not selling this property, which means we don't need to move. Now I go upstairs and I tell my wife this, and my kids, who are kind of on break from school, and you'd think they'd be excited. Wow, we don't have to move. We don't have to spend all that money. We don't have to spend all that time. But they're all kind of like, oh, well, I kind of wanted to move over to this house or over there or over here. And I'm like, what? What? No, no, it's good. We can stay here. A week ago, we were here and we liked it here and everything is good here. And then, a few days ago, after we heard, we're like, oh no, what are we going to do? So let's be happy. But they had already started making the move, I guess, in their mind. But cooler heads prevailed, namely mine, and we're not going anywhere. If anything, we're going to take this and go from a position of strength and maybe move a year from now of our own volition, because he pretty much guaranteed us we'd have at least another year, if not longer, if we wanted it. That's a positive thing. But here's the thing. Here's what I really want to get at, is that fire drill when I was 5, just like the may have to move drill last week, sent massive amounts of adrenaline and fear running through me. Now at 5, I didn't know what to do with that. But now I started planning. What was I going to do? Where was I going to come up with the money to do what I had to do? And all sorts of ideas came to my head. We started thinking about what we wanted to do with this house to get it ready for moving. And some of those things we can still do even though we're not moving. We can get rid of some stuff. And I can still go forward and make some of that money I want to make and maybe have a stockpile so that next time we feel like moving, we actually already have it instead of we have to put it together at the very last minute. Now, sometimes being forced into a change makes you change your thinking. And that can be a good thing. And if you have to make that change and it changes your thinking and it succeeds, that's great. In my case, I was given a glimpse, they called it in the Family Man, a potential future, a potential life where I would have to move. And I saw what I would have to do. Now I don't have to do that. But I think we're still going to do some of those things we thought about doing so that life can improve. We had some good ideas, we had some good energy, and we're going to use that going forward. So next time you have a fire drill or a fire alarm, either way, keep in mind, what is it pushing you to do? Are you going to do that? And even if you find yourself not having to do that because it was a false alarm, should you do it anyway? Can you artificially put yourself in a position where you think, what if this happened? What if this part of my life changed? What would I need to do? If you can create several scenarios of what if and come up with ways to deal with that, you might have just come up with the ways to improve your life right now, even though those what ifs aren't going to occur. You can create your own what ifs and your own solutions and improve your life right now without those air horns going off. Ah! Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow on Win Anyway Live.